Dirk, we have found with the advance of science that many scientists have become rather militant in their atheistic claims that there is no God, using the great knowledge we have, both of cosmology in terms of the origins of the universe and in terms of evolution for the origins of life, as completely undermining the reasons for God's existence. How do you look upon this advance of science and retreat of religion?
I think one has to differentiate between different societies. I'm teaching theology in East Germany, which is very secular and atheist. 2 generations of socialism have nearly eradicated religion. Less than 20% belong to a religious community, 80% would consider themselves as a kind of atheists. But they would not be aggressive. They would not, like Dawkins or others in the States, would promote a kind of aggressive and political atheism. It's everyday life is deprived of any religious meaning. But they would not fight politically for it. And that is something different. In West Germany, where I originally come from, the scene is different. So I would differentiate between different forms of atheism. An atheism that has lost contact to a religion as a lived and meaningful thing in ordinary life, and an atheism that refers to science and tries to promote a certain political agenda, what a society should be like in order to not be religiously dominated or biased in a certain way.
Yeah, that's the sociology of it. That's the implications and the social implications for society. I really don't care about that. I care about the fundamental truth, what's behind it. Because if there is no God, I'm very happy for scientists to be very aggressive in their atheism, because that's great. If I believe in God and I'm wrong, I want to be shown I'm wrong. So what about the fundamental ontology, the real being of their argument?
Yeah, that is no question that can be decided by science, whether there is a God or is no God. It just gets things completely wrong. Dawkins, for example, in his book says there is a God hypothesis, and that means God has created the world, and the world should be like this and that. The world is not like that, so God has not created it. But religious faith and belief does not rest on a God hypothesis in that sense. God is not a necessary hypothesis in order to explain reality. It is my teacher in university usually said, God is more than necessary. God is not a necessary hypothesis for explanation. God is someone whom we need in order to lead our life. That is the religious conviction. And it's not kind of a theoretical term that we need in our formula or an idea that we need in order to make a coherence view of reality. That is not the case. That would be the case if science would be all that is, because then science would say, okay, everything that has relevance and meaning is something that can be found out by scientific methods. And I'd rather doubt that. I would say science is a methodologically very restrictive discipline that is not able to grasp certain hermeneutical dimensions of human existence, for example, of what life is all about, what the striving of beings is. It can describe and explain certain relations between cause and effect, but it cannot give the full picture of the meaning of life and of human existence. And so I would say science can never be in the position to simply rule out anything like the existence of God.
If we look at science and religion in a cross-cultural way, that the beliefs of science, physics, chemistry, biology, once they are established in every culture. Everyone agrees on that. They may change, but based on facts, but everybody agrees this is an objectivity. When you're dealing with questions in religion across culture, you have radical differences, so much so that this has been one of the major causes of wars and trauma among human beings from time immemorial, and certainly true today. So you have religious beliefs that are so controversial that they cause strife and war, and you have scientific objectives which have absolute common understanding. It would seem that is a radical difference.
Yeah, I agree. And I would say that all religions really face a severe challenge and will undergo a severe change, a fundamental change. I think science does not leave religion as it was untouched. The religions, I have to say in the plural, untouched. All religions face this, as you said, this intercultural and not controversial, in a certain sense, uncontroversial success of science, and has to deal with it because it contradicts a lot of the traditional doctrines in the religions. I would say it doesn't rule out the existence of God, but that's a different question. It has a lot of effects, and sometimes dramatic effects, on religion as practiced belief in the cultures. And I see the dialogue between science and religion rather as a sign of hope for the appeasement of religions, because we're all in one boat, in a sense, across cultures, because we have to deal with the scientific world that is emerging. I'm convinced that the dialogue between science and religion can do something very good and very healthy towards religions and for the appeasement of religions, especially in these cross-cultural perspectives. Religions will change due to science, but religions will not die out, and the idea of God is not contradicted by science, but a severe transformation of religion will take place.